Okay, so we've gone through a lot of content in the last few days. Now, today is the last video, but I really want to get your mind rolling a little bit on some things that you should be thinking about. The goal is to gain and retain. So once again, the goal of the whole thing is if you gain members and retain members, you make more money. So the goal is to gain and retain. I hope you love that. Keep saying it in your mind. It's kind of catchy. Hope you'll have fun with it. So the first thing I want to talk about is we did some numbers in the previous video, and that previous video we talked about, how many members do you have to have, at what price equals what amount of money, okay? And we used 38 was our members. Let's put a little member right here. And we took that, and I think it was times 27, if we remember right. And that equaled $1,026. Okay? Now, that is really exciting, really cool. Everybody loves that. That's month number one. Now, there's two ways to look at this scenario. I'm just going to look at it one. You can go do the numbers on the other. But let's say you retained all these right here, people, for 6 months. So I want you to think about that. You kept them for 6 months. How much money does that make you? So that would be $6,156. So if you can keep your members and you can keep them active in what you're trying to do and you can keep them engaged with what you're doing every single month. Now, this is the challenge everybody has in continuity programs or membership programs, is keeping people going so they do not want to leave your program. But if you do that, this is what starts to happen to you. Now, I know you can take it, and you're probably already got your mind going, but imagine that you were going to take this and times this, like every month you got 38 more members, right? That plus this, and you start doing the math out. If you didn't lose anybody and you kept them going, this number would be astronomical. I mean, it'd blow your mind. So your goal in these membership programs that people forget is not just driving traffic to keep them in here, these members, but you need to retain your members and keep them as part of your group. Because if you're having to rebuild it every single month, it's going to suck. So let's just say another thing. Let's just go backwards a little bit. Let's say that you only kept them in for 2 months. And you came over here, you'd be like $2,000, I think, it's got to be around $2,052. So you've lost how much profit by just, not keeping them in and not keeping them engaged in what you're trying to do. So this whole segment is, you got $4,000 there if you keep them for the extra months. It's a little over $4,000, $4,104. But you've got to decide how engaging your content's going to be, what you're going to do to keep them in there, and keep this thing going for yourself. That's the importance of making sure a membership site works and how much money you're going to make in the very end of your membership site. Now, I want to talk about a sales funnel a little bit, and that sales funnel is important because when you're building these out, you've got to have, which we've talked about, and you're going to see it on your screen right now to be able to look at it. You're going to see a graph that kind of gives you some important things to think about. The first thing I want you to think about is you've got to have something that's driving people into that first funnel. And we've already talked about this. You're driving traffic either by pay-per-click, by search engine optimization, or you're just driving it, as we spoke on this little segment, from Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, that kind of stuff. Once they get in there, or emails, once they get through and into your funnel, that's your magnet you see there. Once they're in there, you've made the money. Then you've got a whole process on the back end that you can do to keep them engaged, sell more products to them, keep them to where they want to be part of this and spend more money with you. Let me just put it this way. Membership sites make more money on the back end if you do them right than they ever have on the front end. So people who are great at membership sites know this, and their focus is all on the back end. We didn't talk about the back end on here very much. This is really short. We can get into it more, but the moral of the story is the back end is where the money's at. So make sure you're building your list, you're keeping people engaged. Once they're there, then you want to get your back end people to help give you referrals, help you with upsells, and if you're delivering absolutely amazing content like we talked, they'll do all that for you. And what that'll do is it'll help drive clear back here, as you'll see. That'll deliver and satisfy your customer, and you can go through all this, converts into sales, then you nurture that prospect, you capture another lead, you attract traffic, that traffic goes back in the front end of that pipe as the magnet, and then drives through to be able to keep those clients or customers growing through that. So I hope you've loved this segment, and I can't wait to share what we're going to be doing next week. I'm trying to set up, just so you know, next week what you can look forward to is, we're trying to set up some really amazing interviews with some people in the space that we can share with you over Skype. And I think you'll really enjoy some of these interviews and what their expertise can do to help you as you're building or building your continuity programs out. Once again, thanks. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to our channel. If you haven't made a comment, we would love it if you'd make a comment. If you haven't made a video comment, we'd also love that. Now, through the series, I wore a Ferrari jacket. I wore these amazing Puma shoes. So driving, all that kind of stuff. Because we are higher, louder, faster, better. We love to go fast. We love to do things. And I feel like Ferrari does a good job of showing that. And so hopefully this wasn't too fast for you or too loud for you. We hope you enjoyed it. And my point is find out who you are and what you're going to be doing, because that makes all the difference in the world. So stay tuned for the final week, and then we'll unveil all the goals that we had. You knew from watching the very first video, the goals, what we're trying to achieve. But we'll show you if we made our goals and how we got those goals. And then hopefully you'll want to buy the Go Fast Video Academy so that you can use it in your marketing and in your strategies. So thanks, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon.